It's Wednesday the 14th of September and welcome to From the South. A massive fire ripped through a Sao Paulo favela in Brazil this week, destroying hundreds of homes. Over 30 firefighters were called in to extinguish the flames. Many of the country's poorest civilians live in favelas like these. Local authorities said that there were no human casualties. A new independent study is the latest forensic evidence to rebut the Mexican government's claim that the 43 disappeared Ayotzinapa students were burned in a garbage dump, lending credence to claims by human rights groups that authorities have conspired to cover up the truth to conceal their own complicity. The 43 trainee teacher students at the Ayotzinapa school disappeared on September 26, 2014, while en route from the state of Guerrero. Family members and supporters continue to protest, demanding a thorough investigation into the disappearances. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro welcomed all 105 delegate states to what he said was a successful start to the 17th annual Non-Aligned Movement Summit. He began by saying that despite the efforts of the right wing and the US government, the movement will succeed. This year's summit slogan is United on the Path for Peace, and comes with the backdrop of threats by regional bloc Mercosur. Bloc member states issued an ultimatum to Venezuela saying it must fulfill its obligations by December 1st or face suspension from the organization. They say Venezuela has not incorporated essential Mercosur rules into their national legislation. Our correspondent Cody Weddle was on the island to tell us more.
The second day of the non-aligned movement, the summit here getting underway here in Venezuela on Venezuela's eastern island of Margarita. Now, we heard from Venezuelan officials for the first time, and that's significant, of course, because Venezuela will assume the presidency of this organization for 3 years now. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro saying he really hopes this body can take an anti-colonialist approach within the next 3 years. We also heard from Venezuelan Foreign Minister Delcy Rodriguez, who initiated sort of the slogan for this summit. She said it will be united on the path for peace. Now, this meeting will continue through September 18th. There will be 3 blocks of meetings, one of them with senior officials, one of them with foreign ministers, and another one with heads of government and heads of state. Reporting in Caracas, Venezuela, Cody Weddle, teleSUR's.
The Premier of the Canadian province of Quebec, Philippe Couillard, is currently in Cuba to bolster bilateral ties between the two countries. He is accompanied by representatives of 44 Canadian companies from various sectors. Canada is Cuba's 4th largest trading partner after China, Venezuela and Spain. In 2015, bilateral trade exceeded $700 million, according to official Cuban sources. Deliveries were held up on the 3rd day of a Syrian ceasefire. This was due to disagreements and security fears between Turkey and Syria. The Syrian government has said it will reject any aid deliveries to the city not coordinated through itself and the United Nations, particularly from Turkey. Germany's Bayer has confirmed a $66 billion takeover of the multinational US giant Monsanto. The purchase is the largest cash bid on record. This move is the latest in a series of major takeovers in the agrochemical sector. European Commission head Jean-Claude Juncker has called for the European Union to set up a headquarters to coordinate efforts toward creating a common military force. He believes the bloc should be more active in Europe's defense. Parts of Taiwan were brought to a standstill as Super Typhoon Meranti skirted past the island's southern tip. The typhoon brought the strongest winds in 21 years and disrupted traffic ahead of a major holiday. The storm brought violent winds and torrential rain to eastern and southern Taiwan. The African Union has announced that it planned to send observers to assist Gabon's constitutional court in handling complaints lodged by both President Ali Bongo and his rival Jean Ping. The complaints are over a disputed election on August the 27th that the AU had said plunged the country into instability. President of Slovenia's Football Federation, ALEKSANDER CEFERIN, was overwhelmingly elected as the new head of the European soccer's governing body UEFA at an extraordinary congress earlier today. CEFERIN will succeed Michel Platini, who announced his resignation in May after being banned from football for 4 years for ethics violations. More on these and other stories on our website telesurtv.net/English.